Something that we do in our context is meetups. It's something we started because people part of the online community wanted to connect with people in the area, and it was really hard for us to do that naturally. So we do this a couple different ways. We've learned over the course of a couple years what works and what doesn't. People send in emails and I connect them. That's really hard because I got to get both parties to volunteer to say that they're interested. We started a Facebook group that has worked pretty effectively. We kind of use it as our patio experience. And take my online church course at jkranda.com. I have a full 60-minute course where I kind of unpack this. But in this, I just want to talk a little bit more, a focused conversation around our meetup. So we do kind of three types of things that we run ourselves, meaning the central team part of the online community. We do online meetups, we do local meetups, and we do gatherings. And the online meetup, we actually started doing this not too long ago, and the idea was, hey, we could just do an event like a Zoom call or a Skype call and do it for regions, like do it just for Minnesota or just for Florida, or early on we did it in like 3 states or a country. And the idea is like, pick a time, we're going to do it on this date, and we promote it to our community in those areas in large. Say, hey, if you live in, Northern California, be on this video call and we're going to connect. And pretty much all it was like, hey, how'd you hear about Saddleback? And we go around on the video call. What are some things that we could do to improve it? And then if the event's large enough, maybe that leads us to do something in person. So online meetups are really easy because you can do them anywhere, and you can do them online, and that might be a crawl step to encourage you to do something in person. Now, local meetups is we take an area where there's a lot of activity and we say, hey, we want to go there. And so I've done these all throughout Texas. I've done them in Northern California. I've done them on the East Coast. And these events, the idea was we do the same type of thing, but it's in person. And really, when I'm doing an in-person, obviously it's an opportunity for me in my large community to be highly personal in those moments, get to hear people's stories. But I'm also seeing the leadership quality at that level. Like, does anybody stand out? Anybody that maybe could help organize more events in that region? And so I actually tend in those. I do 1 trip a year, maybe 2, and I kind of hit as many as possible. So I did the East Coast not too long ago, and I did like 6 or 7 over a course of 4 days, and I do that to save travel costs and so forth. And so I'll do different states. And then I first contact those that are hosting groups in those areas, and then I tell the broader community. And I actually set up an RSVP form. I started to do it on in my Facebook group, creating events, and I do something simple. But the idea is that I'm meeting with my community. I want to hear, how did you hear about Saddleback? What are some things we can make it better? And I'm trying to connect people in the area and hopefully facilitate a start of a new small group. That we did that in actually Manhattan. Where a new small group in New York got started. And so that's our goal. And then if there's enough activity, meaning a high concentration of groups, and I go and do a meetup and it goes really well, I can do a gathering. And what a gathering is that it's actually kind of a light service where I'll rent a space to hold an event. I'll show the weekend message. We'll maybe have some live worship if there's somebody in those groups that can volunteer up their that gifting. And then afterwards, I'm having connect time, and gatherings are kind of we call it like early Saddleback culture, where everybody's wearing name tags and trying to get everybody to hang out. I tell my core team that are hosting groups in the area, hey, 15 minutes prior and 15 minutes after, connect with people you don't know, invite them into group conversations. I'm trying to get conversations to happen. And then if that goes well, I'll do more of those gatherings. And so we do online meetups that are super easy. You just need, you can use Zoom. Local meetups, which take a little bit more cost flying. I would test that maybe in a 2-hour radius before you get on a plane and do something more. And then gatherings are a little bit more of a predecessor to maybe a future campus or some kind of regular a local service. And so this is the language that I use. You can steal it, copy it, do whatever you want. I don't care. Again, we want to move people online to offline. I want people to live out the 5 purposes. Check out my full course at jkranda.com. I unpack more detail, all these things from top end to the bottom. But this is how we do meetups that lead to face-to-face community.